Okay, today we're going to make a banana bread. Dark bananas are the best to use if you want to make banana bread. So this is what they look like. They're just dark because I put them in the fridge. Then the skin turns dark. And it looks pretty gross, but actually it makes the best banana bread. It's got lots of flavor in it. They still smell good, so yeah, they're okay. Like I say, it really makes good banana bread. And so I'm just going to peel them. Now, I saw something else that you can use these banana peels. Apparently, if you boil the skin in a little bit of water, I'm not sure if it was a weight loss or just a good healthy thing, because then they put a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in it, and I think a teaspoon of lemon juice and a teaspoon of honey. I did find a recipe out of my cookbooks here, and I'm going to double that recipe because I've got 4 bananas. 2 bananas make 1 cup. Just so happens this is a local recipe book, and this Linda Scheibner I went to school with, so it makes it a little bit more special. So we have 1/4 cup of margarine. Now, I don't like using margarine. I like using butter because butter is real. 1/4 cup, so I'm just going to use 1/2 cup. But if you're dead set on using margarine, then I guess you can use margarine, but I don't use it in any of my recipes. I don't cook with it. I don't eat it because when margarine first came out, it was a pale color and we had to add color to it. It was the color of oranges, that really, really bright orange. We had to add color to it in order to make it look right. But no, man, this can't be good for you. You have to add this coloring to it to make it look like butter. Now, this calls for 2/3 cup of honey. So this thing here is a big container of honey. I buy it bulk because it costs less. And we have a local honey farm not too far away. So I buy it in a big quantity because I use lots of it. 2/3 cup. Now that seems like an awful lot of honey. So sometimes I alter the recipe a little bit. So actually I'm only going to put 1/3 in there. So that'll be the 2/3 or the whole recipe because that seems a little bit too sweet for me. So I do alter them a little bit if they seem like they're a little bit off. And that's okay, as long as you're aware that you've altered the recipe a little bit. So there's 1/3. So we're going to pour that in here. Now we're going to do it another one. And it's been so hot and humid here that this honey has melted. Normally it would be hard, and so we'd have to melt it a little bit before we put it into the recipe. So you'll know that it's 100% honey if it gets hard in your container. Otherwise, they've added a little bit of liquid to it to make it liquid all the time, and it's not pure honey. So that's how you know that it's pure honey, because it solidifies in the container when it cools off. Okay. So we've got the bananas in there, the butter, and the honey. Now I'm going to put the honey away. 15 pounds of honey. That's quite a bit of honey. But I easily use it in the different recipes that I make and or jams and jellies that I make in the fall. Now I want to get a cup so that we break the eggs right into a cup rather than right into the bowl, because you never know when there might be an egg that isn't quite right. Break it in first. It looks okay. And then you can also, if you've got shells in it or anything, you can take them out as well. There, see, I got the shell. Good practice. Now I'm doubling the recipe, so I need to put 6 eggs in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So this will give me 2 banana loaves at once. Okay. Now we cream all this stuff together. Okay, I should have melted my butter, but it's going to be okay. It'll be all right. Well, once we get everything in it, and I'll just mix it up. It'll be fine. Okay. So it doesn't look exactly how it's supposed to look, but this is what happens when you don't melt the butter, but that's okay. It's just going to be a banana loaf. It's not like it's anything serious. Okay, 1/3 cup of water. 2/3 cup of water. I'm just getting water from my filter, so you don't use water from my tap. It's just well water, and it doesn't work always the best for cooking and stuff. So 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to add my flour first because I didn't get the butter mixed up. As you notice, I'm just kind of doing this as an impromptu video. I didn't have everything ready for the video. I just thought, oh, I might as well do a video today. See how it works out. So it's kind of convoluted, but let's see what happens. So I'm going to use 2 cups of flour. And then, like I said, I like to change the recipe up so it's a little healthier. So I'm going to add 2 cups of oatmeal. And this is quick oats. That way you don't have to soak it in water before it's already rolled fine. So it's kind of whatever I have in the house. I like to add to it to make it a little bit more healthy. And instead of skim milk powder, I'm going to add some sour cream that I had left over. Like I said, I like using what I already have in the fridge, and I'd like to use it up. So we're going to add a 1/2 cup of sour cream. There you go. See? So I'm just going to add that all in here. This is kind of an impromptu recipe that I'm kind of changing as I go along here as to what I have in the fridge and what I have in my cupboard. I like to say it's easy for you to do the same. Like instead of using the skim milk powder, use sour cream. Or if you happen to have yogurt, you can use yogurt instead. So you don't have to go out and buy extra things to make the recipe. So works out good that way. All right, so now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Actually, it'll be 4 because I'm making double the recipe. And I'm just going to use a regular teaspoon. This won't make it heaping or anything. I'm just going to level it off. It'll just be a level teaspoon. 2, 3, 4. 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Turn on the oven. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. There you go. I need baking soda. Well, I usually have some extra baking soda, but I used it all up for another cake. So we're going to do this. Let's see. All right. Now you can also add walnuts, raisins, or something like that to taste if you want. Like the difference between a banana nut bread and banana bread. The only thing that's different is you add 1 cup of chopped walnuts. I wanted to add a little bit of salt. And I use Himalayan pink salt because it's got all the minerals and everything in it still. So it said 1 teaspoon. So this is kind of a heaping teaspoon. So I'm going to put it in there. So that's equivalent of 2 teaspoons. I guess I don't have any soda. Oh, well, it'll be okay. We'll figure it out. We got the baking powder, we got the salt. So that's good. And then I'm going to use my mixer. More than likely, most of you have mixers of some sort. If you don't, you can mix it by hand with a spoon, like just a bowl with a whisk or a spoon. That's okay too. So let's just turn it on and let's see what happens.